Hello everybody, this is Senex, and I'm actually doing a dual cast today with Pull, who messaged me as we were both hanging out in the 7M channel, and said, yeah, we should totally start working together on this, start bringing more of these games to all these people together. So, hey Pull, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Just shout out to all you guys. Thanks for tuning in to this. And just to shed a little bit of light on the map that we're casting on, it is a 6 mineral and then 1 gas map. So a little bit different than what you're used to seeing on the ladder. It definitely encourages more macro-based play, less one base all-in type stuff. So as you can see, this is going to be a TVZ between, I guess, Danosaur. I've actually not heard of these players before, and xGKingmafia. So it should be pretty interesting stuff.
The replay file did say that they were both Grandmasters players, though, which means I'm really excited about what they end up making out of these maps, because it seriously changes the metagame. The units that you'd at first think would be very good might not necessarily be, and the units that have been completely underused. My personal favorite is the Hydralisk, which has been completely abandoned almost in ordinary play, except in ZVZ. It's made a huge comeback in these maps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I played a match earlier, and I was playing, of course I play as Tan, I was playing against a Zerg, and I thought my Marines and my tanks would do just great, but they just had so much stuff before I could ever, like, have a chance that I just got completely run over. So I'm definitely going to have to figure out a better strategy for my TVZ.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not used to macroing so hard, but it's, like I said, it's definitely an interesting take on the game.
One of the best things about it is that it really encourages expanding aggressively, because when you have so many fewer minerals and gas per base, if you want to have those big endgame armies that you're eventually going to be able to go and smash face with and actually finish off the game, you're going to need to get up to probably 5 bases, maybe even 6, before you can actually reach 200 supply.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet, so
no gas so far for Danosaur. It looks like he's probably going to be going for gasless expand, unless he wants to put on a little pressure, because he is rallying that Marine all the way across the map. He has a sneaky SCV wandering out there. Might be trying to set up a bunker to punish this early expansion.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a decent idea. It's definitely a pretty long map though, so we'll see if the bunker rush does work, if that's what he chooses to do. I will note though, I'm not sure if this map, I don't think it's been edited. It is going to be possible for him to set up bunkers at the bottom of the ramp. He might actually be able to trap the Zerg player in.
Yeah, true. He is sending 2 more SCVs, so we're already getting off to a couple very, very early aggressive moves. He does not want to let King begin to take advantage of this expansion that he has working for him. And actually, I missed the second racks going up. How did I do that? He has a Maka racks that he lifted off from the high ground to the low ground, so definitely 2 racks pressure, and look at that, just like you said.
Oh yeah, so there we go.
Here come all the drones. Oh, and he's doing the mineral stack trick. I really like that. Right-clicking on the mineral patch, then having them all attack that right bunker that does a ton of damage really quickly.
Yeah,
but look at the mining time he's missing.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, you know, even if our Terran doesn't really do that much damage, he's definitely taking some indirect mineral time, mining time rather.
It's a big supply block for Danosaur though. He's at 27 to 27, so he's going to get pretty much this next Marine out of the barracks before that supply depot finishes, so he's going to be at significantly fewer. But there's a big fight going on. He loses a ton of Marines in that, but the bunker does go up. Right now the second bunker continuing to... Oh no! One play.
Alright, so as you can see here, Danosaur does manage to get 1 bunker up, and there are 2 queens as well as some Zerglings on that bunker, but it's probably going to go down before he possibly takes out at least 1 queen.
I think he is going to get that queen.
Oh, he did get it. Wow, that's interesting. I feel like Mafia probably could have microed it back and saved his life there, but I guess he just chose to defend with them.
Yeah, so right now our Terran player is taking himself a nice big advantage. He has 19 SCVs against just 14 drones. He has his expansion starting out, though you'll actually see if you go and you look down at Danosaur's base, he's completely oversaturated. But wait, right in the middle, there's the Zerglings who are coming in and finishing off all those retreating Marines. So definitely a big, and a huge swell of Zerglings now moving down the map.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously, as you can see, Danosaur is choosing to go ahead and get a bunker. He doesn't have any kind of Hellions out. In fact, he's just getting all Raxes right now. So he's you know, he's going to have to defend and can't really be aggressive right now. He doesn't have anything to take up that many Zerglings.
The Baneling nest is done, so it looks like xGKingmafia is going to be trying to directly counter this early aggression by sending in the Banelings.
Yeah, so this is going to be rough. Danosaur is preparing the correct way, though. He's building 2 bunkers behind his supply depots. I feel like he probably should lift at least that 1 rack up to complete a wall. But here we see Mafia coming in with his Banelings first taking out 1 supply depot, and...
Is that... Oh, it does go down.
Yep. But it looks like Danosaur puts his SCVs up here, and is blocking very good micro there with his hold position SCVs. And only 1 Zergling actually makes it into the base of our Terran player.
That was some great micro. He put stop position right around all those SCVs, so they didn't end up being a viable attack target for the Zerglings, and the Zerglings just ran around trying desperately to get at the Marines, and it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to take a look at the units lost, as I have it on my screen, you can see 1,800 resources have been lost for a Zerg player and 1,455 for the Terran player. So Terran's actually not doing too bad. He does have 2 orbital commands, so he will be able to lift and go to his next mineral patch. So he's definitely not out of the game by any means. So and in fact, he definitely has even a higher supply count. So he's definitely doing good.
Yeah. What I think is really interesting here is how even the minerals are, even though, or the resources being gathered right now in the income tab, even though there are 2 mules being dropped, they're actually just about even, because even though the Zerg is actually at fewer workers, because he has access to these extra 6 minerals right now at his natural, he's actually getting to put all of them to good use instead of when you just look at our Terran player's field, now he's finally getting the transfer out of there.
Yeah,
it's so oversaturated.
Yeah. So, and even, it's pretty interesting, he's still oversaturated, so he could probably, afford to expand once more. I mean, what I found when I was playing was that I had a 3rd base up by the 10-minute mark, so that would not be a bad idea for him. Of course, he's going to need to be able to defend against any kind of aggression from Mafia, but as we can see, Mafia is not really choosing to build any kind of attacking units other than just his Zerglings to get a little bit of scouting.
Though he is really hard supply blocked right now, and he just opened himself up a huge amount of extra supply. He does have that Roach Warren and absolutely no lair tech coming, so I think he's going to continue the aggression. He does not want to stop.
Check this out. He's got 32 Zerglings being produced right now.
Oh,
so
wow.
It'll be interesting to see. He might actually go for another Baneling bust, and the Danosaur is walling off. He's got 3 bunkers at his wall, as well as the supply depot.
I love his Marine split. He's making it so that even if they get through that initial bunker field, every Marine that they would want to take out would have to take their own Baneling.
Yes, most definitely. So, and we do see a layer is going to go ahead and get researched. So I would say Mafia will probably go ahead and get mutas. I think mutas on this map would probably would be a great idea, as our Terran player will most likely have a ton of bases all over the map. So mutas, are highly mobile. They can get from point A to point B relatively quickly, and they will probably do a pretty good harassment, much like you would see in Brood War.
Yeah, I think that mutas are a very, very, very strong choice on these maps. Their mobility is a huge advantage. But also one thing I've noticed a lot of is that some of the other units that Zerg tend to rely on are sometimes not as strong. For example, I haven't been too impressed by Infestors yet on this map, because particularly against drop play, you really want like 15 or 20 Infestors on the field, so that you can just be constantly fungling, dropping infested Terrans and keeping control of the map that way. But when you only have like 6 infested Terrans out, 6 Infestors out, they use up their energy a lot more quickly than you would first think.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that I do want you guys to note is that our Zerg player has actually not done anything as far as creep spread goes. So he's definitely limiting himself a little bit there, as he's going to need to be highly mobile on this map.
Yeah, I do think his 3rd is coming up pretty late too, and it doesn't offer him any additional gas, though he has banked 1,000 gas already, and that just shows you what those rich geysers will do for you. Having 3 guys on that is not always the best decision on these maps, because you can just drown yourself in more gas than you know what to do with.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so you can see here, even our Terran player is getting a lot more gas than he probably needs. He's going to get his starport up, so going to be getting some Marine tank and medevac composition here. And his 3rd CC is almost finished.
Yeah, I do think that he's going to probably want to move it down and turn it into a planetary at that natural 3rd. There are backdoor rocks that you can attack through, but not necessarily the most vulnerable base. You can take that big choke right behind the sight blocker and siege that up with a lot of tanks, and it will not be taken down easily. There's a huge move out moving through the middle right now. 3 siege tanks and more than a full page, like a page and a half of Marines.
Yeah, and Zerg, I'm not sure if he actually knows that this is coming or not. I think, yeah, he did manage to get it scouted. He does have some banelings. But I don't know if it's going to be quite enough to take out these 3 tanks as well as the Marines.
Particularly with no baneling speed, he's going to be at a really big disadvantage, and this is great tank spread. He doesn't need to get them clustered up or even too close at all. He just needs one in range of that hatchery, and eventually the Zerg will have to attack him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do actually see a blink here from our Zerg player. I don't know if he's going for a counterattack. Yeah, he's going to go for a blink, and he's going to catch one tank out of position here, and might actually manage to get both tanks down. Now we do have Marines attacking Zerg. Both families coming here, getting some great hits off on those Marines.
There was amazing target firing on the tanks. He was custom clicking each one of those banelings, making sure that the tanks were targeting them and not the Zerglings that his Marines could deal with just fine. You can see it now in the units that are left over. We have 12 Marines with just 8 banelings on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have 36 Zerglings, so it does look like Zerg will most likely be able to clean this up, especially with those banelings that even bring some drones. Gotta go ahead and start mining once again. And those banelings do manage to take out those Marines relatively easily.
Now we do have the first Mutalisks